Welcome, everyone. Good morning, and welcome back to the Nitty Gritty Cafe. If you are on Instagram and on YouTube, learn together. Today, we'll be talking about should children do chores at home? And I will start with a story from my kids. My son, we were doing chores, and he was just standing around. So I said, "Well, why are you not doing your chores?" And he said, "I didn't want to. I don't want to." So I said, "Well, you realize that as you grow older, one day you will move out. You will live in your own house. Who will do the chores then?" And he looked me straight in the eyes and he said, "My wife." I know you're laughing, but I wanted to know where this thinking came from because in our home, both my husband and I do chores around the house, and the children do chores. And so I thought, it is important for me to let him know why he does chores. And so today we're going to have a look at that. Should children do chores at home? Now, I grew up in the Caribbean, and so I remember every child that I knew of at that time doing chores. And so for me, that is normal. So I looked into why should children do chores? Is there any value to doing chores? So, reasons children need to do chores. And I'll quickly go over these. I don't want this to be long. I want you to get the point that it is important for children to do chores at home. They may not like it, they may not want to do it, but it is important. So, number one, chores help to teach life skills. Your kids will not always be young, or your children. So you need to make sure that they are, capable of taking care of themselves when they fly the coop or, leave the nest, whatever you want to say about it. It is important. Every child, as they grow up, should know these things because it teaches life skills. These are skills they will need for the rest of their lives. Everybody eats, everybody needs to clean up after themselves because that's what you'll continue to do. I am always amazed, I will say, living in other countries apart from the Caribbean, I will meet people in their 20s and 30s who have no idea how to sweep a floor, or mop the floor, or use, the dishwasher, or use, you know, how to wash their clothes. I'm always like, well, how did you get a? I don't understand. As you can hear, it boggles my mind. So it's life skills. These will be needed for the rest of their lives. So they need to learn. I remember hearing um, a broadcast a long time ago, and it really stuck with me, probably over 20 years or close to that, where a lady was talking on a program and she said, "I realize that I'm raising my son to be somebody's husband. This is somebody's husband I am raising. So it is my responsibility to make sure that when he meets his wife, she will say, 'My goodness, what a fantastic husband I have because he was raised right.'" He and so I always that always stuck with me that I am raising somebody's husband or wife, and I need to make sure that they're not an unnecessary burden, if you understand what I am saying. Meaning that they're coming in already with these skills and they can partner together and they can share the load. So that's number one. Chores help to teach children life skills. Number two, chores help children to learn responsibility and self reliance. So it is important that as your children grow older, they understand that some things are for them to do. So my children will get up in the morning and they're before they go to school, they usually make their bed. That's one of the things we're trying to train them as they're at the age where they should know how to make their beds. They won't always do it according to my standard, but it is important that they learn to try and do that. It's a responsibility to know that you get your responsibilities done before you do other things. So they learn self reliance. It gives them a sense of accomplishment. And so that is important. Number three, it helps to teach them teamwork. We are a team as a family, and so everyone has their roles, just like in a sports game, where if you're defense, you're defending, if you're offense, you're shooting. So you have to stay and do what you need to get done in order for this team to work well together. Because if one person as a part of the team does not do what they should, it means somebody else has to pick up the slack. So number 4, chores help to reinforce respect. It helps them to learn and realize how much their parents do. I must tell you that this is one of the things with my children, because if they are unnecessarily messy, I will ask them to help me to clean up wherever it is or whatever it is. And they will start complaining about how hard it is and why is it taking so long. And I will say, well, if you would eat a little cleaner, or don't make as many spills, then it wouldn't be as much work. And just imagine if I had to do it by myself, it's way more work, right? And so I think they start to realize that, hey, maybe there's something I can do. And they respect the fact that you have to do so much. I must tell you, my children love to help me clean the bathrooms, which is funny to me because growing up I hated cleaning the bathrooms because that was my chore. But that's not their chore, and they love to help clean the bath, and I love having them help me. So it shows respect. It teaches them respect. Number 5, chores help improve planning and time management, and I can't say enough about this one. It improves planning and time management. It is important for your children to learn that they get their chores done and then they can do fun things. This skill will help everybody as they grow older and become an adult. And I can't tell you how many times, even at jobs, we tell everyone you need to learn time management skills. It is important to know, I get this done, then I can get this done. So those are some of the reasons. And this week I even saw on my phone somewhere that it says children who do chores are 30% more likely to succeed. I cannot quote where this statistic was from, but I just saw it pop up on my phone and I said, "Oh my goodness, it is very important for children to learn their chores." All right, so last thing I'm going to have on here today is just a suggested chores, and you might or you might not like this list. And you might say, my children you know, are not up to doing the chores that they're saying for their age. You might have to scale it back, and that's okay. You might just decide to do one thing for each child, and that's fine too. So these are suggested. I found this list online. You can have a look at it, and those are some of the things that children can do at home. My kids love to help watering the plants. They love watering the plants. Sometimes they will overwater them, but they love helping with that. They love to set the table. Sometimes they love to help me, like I said, clean the bathtubs. So you decide. But here's some suggested chores, and I hope that you've learned a few things today about why it's important for your children to do chores at home. Have a fantabulously great day, everyone. We'll see you next time on the Nitty Gritty Cafe or Learn Together on YouTube.